Hello.
There you are. Hello, Christine Alexander. Where's Christine Mento?
Oh, I think
Kristen.
we said hi at the same time.
You
Hi.
did. Hello, Kristen Mento, beaming in from South Africa. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So, Kristen Mento is the head designer and the creative development manager at TopInc Printing and Design it's not Johannesburg, right? Where are you?
We are based in Cape Town,
Cape
in a
Town, right?
suburb called Newlands. Yeah, so Newlands, Cape Town.
Okay, so don't adjust your microphone. She is speaking with a funny accent. And we have Christine Alexander, who is the official designer of record for Girls Who Print, and also the founder and chief design nut at Creative Squirrel Studio. Hello, Christine Alexander.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Excellent. Why don't we start with you? Can you tell everybody a little bit about you, your background, and about the work that you're doing now at Creative Squirrel?
Yeah, I am actually a 15-year print veteran turned design studio owner, and I help businesses grow. My tagline is where brands come to grow. I do everything from branding and website design to advocating for print and helping feed those print shops with big print projects.
Excellent. Kristen Mento, can you tell everybody a little bit about you and the work that you do at TopInc Printing and Design?
Okay. So as Deborah mentioned, I'm actually the creative department manager. I think Deborah said creative development manager, but it's closely related.
So sorry.
Almost like one. No, not a problem. So yeah, I sort of manage the entire creative team, from the print designers, the graphic designers, through to the UX UI, the marketing team, all of that. So all of that falls under the umbrella that I manage. And yeah, what else is there? I'm very focused on embellishment print, very interested in embellishment print. And yeah, that's my passion.
Excellent. So we are having this session because of a post that you actually wrote on LinkedIn, which you titled, "Oh, you work in print." That's nice, with my dramatic reading there. And in our big and bold progression, we've identified a need to be big and bold. Kim has helped us to find it within ourselves. Now we're going to focus on being big and bold about the work that we do in the printing industry. Now, this post was very interesting for a million reasons, but more specifically, last time I looked, 1,467 reasons, which are the interactions that post had, as well as 273 comments and 119 reposts. And this is 2 days ago was the last time I looked at that post. So it actually might have grown since then. It certainly resonated with everybody in the printing industry, but can you, Kristen, please start with, why did you post this to begin with?
Okay, so where it came from was I had a meeting with a client, a very close client of ours. So we tend to chat, and she's a librarian, but she's representing sort of the institution. And they're doing this big annual project that they do with us every year. And we got to speaking about how in her field, she often gets this, like, people don't know what I do. People are surprised that librarians even still exist. They're like, but why are you a librarian? So I said to her, you know what, I actually get that a lot as well. People are like, but why do you work in print? And what is a print designer? Like, I only know about developers and web designers and product developers, or that type of thing. And that's sort of where it started. And then I just started developing it from there. And I realized that what are the answers I usually give? What is usually my rebuttal? And so I included that in there. And I thought, if I feel like this and if I get this often, I'm pretty sure my mom and dad still don't know what I do. Bless their hearts, they try and understand. They have to explain it to other people. You can see them grasping at straws. It's very cute. But yeah, they don't really get it. Even some of my friends, a lot of them are accountants and doctors and a few lawyers, and they understand what each other does, but they don't really get the whole creative sphere.
Right.
So yeah, I'm often doing a combination of explaining what I do and the sort of realm that I work within, and also then sometimes I find myself defending print.
Right.
So it's like equal parts of both. And yeah, that's sort of how the post came about. I was like, if I feel this way, I'm sure there are other people out there within, my tribe who
Right.
probably get the same thing. And that's where it came from.
So in the post, what were a few of the things you mentioned as far as how you counteract the, oh, you work in print, so sorry, is that still around? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I mentioned a few things. A lot of it was, well, so why are you a print designer? And then I, go on to explain all the reasons why being a print designer is awesome. It's quite a unique niche. When everyone's running towards web design and online, you run in the opposite direction. And suddenly, the pond gets a lot smaller, especially in terms of job opportunities and that type of thing. So the other side of that is you need to sort of really be fairly good to rise to the top, especially if it's a smaller group and that type of thing. But yeah, also having said that, the print design community is very supportive of each other, very loving towards each other. So that's the one side of it. And then I think one of my responses when people are like, oh, you work in print, like, when people give you that, oh, that's so cute type of thing, then I'm just like, yeah, I work in print. It's awesome. And then like, that's sort of where I just leave it, because they don't really want to know more.
Right.
They just sort of there to criticize instead of, well, I always say there's two ways or reasons for asking something. So you either ask because you want to know, or you ask to criticize. So it's sort of distinguishing between the two, and it's really exciting when you get the people who just really want to know more.
Right.
And I think a lot of people in the comments identified with that. Like, oftentimes they have people who just want to know more, and then they say, well, everything you touch is print, and if we didn't have print, you wouldn't know what you're getting in the can, or that type of thing. So we got quite a few responses like that. And I think I touched on the opportunities in the digital sphere of print as well. There are so many that I find that people just often don't connect the dots. They don't, because they just think print, they just think old school print, very manual. But it just takes some connecting of the dots to actually get people to go, oh, actually, that makes sense. I didn't think about it. So yeah, I spoke a little bit about that. And I can't remember everything else I spoke about.
No, I mean, there was a zillion people who commented. And yeah, there was, I mean, I'll get to my comments about the comments in that post in a second. But Christine, you were tagged into this post by Kristen because she obviously wanted your opinion. So as a designer yourself, do you find yourself defending print or championing it? And those are two different things.
They definitely are two completely different things. And not to step on Matthew Parker's toes, but yes, I'm definitely a print champion. I used to be on the defending side, but I mean, print is just so cool, especially once you know those nuances and you can find ways to actually bridge the gap between print and digital. I'm one of those statistic nerds who likes to find out, how much more effective is a direct mail piece when sent to a nurtured list. That sort of stuff I'm very passionate about, and it brings me to life. So I'm definitely always trying to find ways to advocate for print and how it's actually going to help somebody achieve their goals and move the needle in the right direction.
So Kristen mentioned that one of the predominant comments was that in the chat, print is everywhere, and therefore that's the reason why everybody should be on board with it. But I actually don't think there is any value in that actual position, because just because print is everywhere, therefore it has value, therefore it is needed, is a dangerous proposition. It might be needed for some things. It might always be needed for some things. It may be an easier solution than installing an electronic sign, for example, but the world evolves. And as things change, does that mean print has no value if you don't see a movie poster and you see an electronic sign? So there was 273 comments essentially defending print as a communications channel. And much of that defense, as Kristen mentioned, was, well, I know that there's peas in that can because of print. But that is not going to move marketing people. That is not going to move a florist or a landscaper if you say, well, look, it's a can of peas, So how do we get big and bold and proactive in changing the perception of print? Christine, we'll start with you.
I mean, obviously with everything, print evolves just like everything else evolves. So you have to get creative. I think the manufacturers have done a great job of making, embellishments more, more accessible with their digital revolution of like Scodex and there's HP products and Ricoh products that will apply specialty coatings or white inks and things like that. As a printer, actually educating designers on how to utilize that to actually tell their stories in a more meaningful way, I think is critical in helping move that needle forward. I think it starts with education because people just don't know what they don't know.
Kristen?
What's a way to be big and bold? One way that I thought about is to have more open houses for the print houses that can, to sort of get the school kids and the tertiary institution, young adults, get them over, actually show them how the machines work, show them what the embellishments do and how, the layering works. I think actually having that exposure might go a long way. Granted, it might be difficult for the smaller print houses just because they don't have the space oftentimes. So yeah, if the bigger print houses could start organizing that and championing that, I think it will help a lot. We actually have a local print house that is, I shared a post on LinkedIn I think a few weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And, one of them actually messaged me to say, off the back of that, it gave us fuel to now have our open house, which I thought that was quite amazing. They were like, no, we were planning it for a while, but, after reading the pointers in there of all the ways in which it's actually beneficial to, get customers in, get fresh eyes in front of print, all of that type of thing, they decided to run with it. I thought that was quite cool. And then also, look, I'm not active on TikTok personally, but TikTok would be a great platform if we can harness the power of TikTok to get in front of Gen Z. That would be a great way.
I'm gonna chime in real quick.
Yeah,
the
go for it.
TikTok print community is non-existent, so come over there, come join me.
I'm working on it. Are you doing TikTok? Are you doing TikTok?
Yeah. I am a TikToker.
Awesome. Okay. I might join you on that side. I've been thinking about it a little while. I do a lot of work with youth and youth outreach. So I often I call them my kids. So I often rely on my kids to inform me about what the latest memes are and trends are and whatever the case is. But I have been thinking that why aren't we doing this in the printer sphere? Like, why are we not harnessing that power? So that would be one way. And also on a simpler level, if we maybe not ready for TikToks, for those of us who have Instagram accounts, for the print shops that have Instagram accounts, doing stories helps a lot. And now you can do stories on Facebook as well. So doing stories of this is behind the scenes of how the printer works and the pages go through, and this is what comes out at the end, and this is a day in the life of a printer, a pre-press worker, a salesperson in print. Doing all of those little things, it also shows the humanity behind this word print.
Yes.
So
Yes,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. That is actually a description of my Print Life initiative, which is to show everybody who works in print and everything that we do, and to have people understand that there's ink chemists and packaging designers and marketing people and you know, people who are creative and run presses, operate presses, and make t-shirts for concerts. I mean, there are just so many cool things out there. Ladies, I just want to thank you so much for joining us today, and you know, helping people get some talking points around being big and bold. And I think it's even more important to hear it from designers. And in your case, Christine, you're a business owner who's recommending print as well as omni-channel marketing, of course, to your customers. So you are, and I'm glad that you've taken the championing position versus the defensive position, because as Kim said, that's the power spot. You know, that's where
Absolutely.
you're big and bold, where you're not small. Christine, how can people get in touch with you to work with you? Can we have put your LinkedIn links in the chat, but other than that, anything you want to say?
LinkedIn is a great place to start. You can also find me on Instagram or on TikTok. I'm at Creative SQRL on both of those platforms, and I would love to connect. I love having fellow print geeks in my network. So thanks for having me, Deborah.
Thank you so much, Christine. Thank you for all of the, I'm wearing one of your t-shirts, as a matter of fact.
I got my flag.
Yeah, you got your flag. Christine loves her damn flags. Kristen Mento, you are an inspiration. You really, you and I have had a previous conversation where you explained that for people in graphic arts communication programs and everything like that, it is, you're already in a digital space. You already understand digital design. So learn the print aspect of it and make yourself twice as valuable. Everybody's already in the same space. How can you differentiate? So, and I also would like to announce, because I'm not sure if you're going to be here later, that Kristen and I have been discussing, and she is going to take up formulating a Girls Who Print in South Africa, and combining forces with people around there. So Kristen, final words from you and how people can get in touch and all of that.
LinkedIn is where I'm most active at the moment. I don't have the mental capacity for any other social media platform at the moment, but I do have an Instagram account if anyone wants to follow there. And that would be the best place. LinkedIn would be the best place at the moment.
One very important question from Matthew Parker. He's interested in knowing the name of your cat, which is very cute. So give him a shout out.
Oh, did she feature?
He did. She did. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, everybody.
No, we loved it. Go ahead.
She's Meow.
Meow Meow Mento, everybody.
Meow Meow Mento. That
Meow
is
Meow Mento. Ladies, thank you so much for being big and bold and joining us today.